I never imagined I would become the man who searches for proof of his own wife's betrayal. 12 years of marriage, 2 kids, a beautiful home in the suburbs, and our Friday night pizza tradition from the outside. We looked like the perfect American family, but the truth is, perfection can sometimes be the biggest illusion of all. Things started changing slowly. Her phone was always locked. Her school meetings ran later and later, and the sparkle in her eyes, the one that once belonged to me, began to fade. I didn't want to be suspicious. I didn't want to believe something was wrong, but something was breaking, and I was starting to realize it wasn't just our routine, it was my heart. The night everything changed didn't begin with a fight or a confession. It began with silence. She had fallen asleep on the couch, the TV still glowing in the dark living room. I was about to turn it off when her phone lit up beside her. I wasn't planning to look. I told myself I wouldn't, but then I saw the notification preview on the screen. Last night was amazing. I can't stop thinking about you. My chest tightened. My hands went cold. In that moment, the world I believed in shifted beneath my feet. I didn't wake her up. I didn't scream. I just stood there, staring at that message, feeling something inside me quietly collapse. That was the moment I knew. This wasn't just distance between us anymore. It was betrayal. I didn't create a scene that night. I didn't wake her up. I didn't ask questions. I simply walked to our bedroom in silence, but sleep was nowhere near me. Over the next few days, I did what every broken man tries to do, attempted to ignore the truth. But deep down, I already knew something serious was happening. Slowly, I began gathering evidence. Phone records, late night calls, the dates she came home late because of schoolwork. Every detail told the same story. This wasn't a moment of weakness. It was a full, secret relationship. The most painful part? The man was also a teacher at the same school where she worked. Every morning I sat across from her at breakfast, laughed with my kids, and quietly fell apart inside. I wanted to scream, but this time, I decided I wouldn't act out of emotion, I would act with clarity. A few weeks later, I was sitting in a lawyer's office, watching 12 years of marriage shrink into a stack of legal papers. The divorce documents were being prepared, and every word felt like a truth carved into my chest. I made a decision. I wouldn't end this with shouting or drama. I wouldn't seek revenge. I wouldn't expose her in front of everyone. I would simply take back my dignity in silence. The day the papers were ready, I drove straight to her school. My heart was racing, but my face remained calm. When she walked toward me in the hallway, her smile slowly faded. I handed her the envelope and said only one sentence. "This is for you." I didn't raise my voice. I didn't explain, but in that silence, everything was understood. Sometimes the strongest response isn't a scream, it's quiet finality. That night, after she was served, my phone wouldn't stop ringing. Calls, texts, voicemails, filled with tears and excuses. She said it was a mistake. She said it didn't mean anything. She said she was confused, lonely, overwhelmed. But what hurt the most wasn't the affair anymore. It was how easily she expected me to forgive it, as if 12 years of loyalty could be replaced with a few desperate apologies. Over the next few weeks, the truth unraveled in ways she never anticipated. The other teacher distanced himself the moment things became public. Whispers spread through the school halls. Parents started asking questions. What she thought was a secret love story turned into a public scandal, and for the first time, she felt the weight of consequences. Meanwhile, I focused on something different: rebuilding. I started therapy, not because I was weak, but because I refused to let betrayal define me. I spent more time with my kids, taking them to the park, helping with homework, creating new traditions that didn't include broken promises. Slowly, the anger turned into clarity. I realized something powerful. Betrayal says more about the betrayer than the betrayed. I stopped asking myself why I wasn't enough and started understanding that faithfulness isn't about perfection. It's about character. Months later, when the divorce was finalized, she stood in front of me one last time, eyes filled with regret. She said she never thought I would actually leave. And that was the moment everything became clear. She never believed I would choose myself. But I did. I chose peace over chaos. I chose dignity over revenge. I chose a future where trust wouldn't be a question mark. Today my life isn't perfect, but it's honest. And sometimes, losing the person you thought you couldn't live without is exactly what teaches you how strong you truly are. Because in the end, secrets always surface. Karma doesn't need an invitation, and the strongest move a man can make isn't revenge. It's walking away with his head held high.